As we wait for Alien Covenant to hit theaters, we are presented by Fox and Sir Ridley Scott to the prologue of Alien Covenant, The Last Supper. So, guys, I mean, we are all looking forward to Alien Covenant. I think we want answers from the previous film, Prometheus, and this is supposed to tie in heavily with that first Alien film. Of course, when I talk Alien, I'm talking about the xenomorphs. So, what is this film about? What is the plot of this film? So, bound for a remote planet on the far side of the galaxy, the crew of the colony ship Covenant, which includes Walter, a rebuild of android David, a survivor of the doomed Prometheus expedition, find what they believe to be an uncharted paradise. However, said paradise soon reveals itself to be a dangerous world inhabited by the original David and the monstrous creatures that start to hunt them. So, watching the prologue, watching The Last Supper, it was definitely a nod to when the first chest burster, came out from that first Alien film, when we first got introduced to the xenomorph. It was a cool little nod, fine, yes, but here's the thing. For this Alien Covenant, I want to see characters, I want to see story that I haven't seen from the Alien franchise. I don't want no nods. I don't want no, oh yeah, this is what we did before. I want it to be a new take. And I'm very confident in Sir Ridley Scott. I think he's shown that he still's got it from The Martian. I was one that liked The Martian when it came out. Now, when I watched the prologue, the thing that really got me was, first of all, James Franco. James Franco is the captain, and that was interesting. That was very. He's also the husband of Daniels, our leading character, our leading actress, played by Catherine Waterston. My bad. So yes, James Franco. When you put James Franco and you put Danny McBride together, that's not a very good, you just don't take it too seriously. And when I first saw James Franco and then Danny McBride, being the navigator of the ship, not the navigator, but pretty much being flying the ship, that is the pilot of the ship, you see those two together, and it's like, I want to take this seriously, but I've seen these guys in so many goofy movies, and it's not like they could transform into a different character. Not like their buddy Jonah Hill, which I think Jonah Hill is probably the more talented out of the group, but you just can't help but kind of cringe a little bit, oh, did they really have to cast James Franco in that particular role? So in the very beginning of this prologue, he's sick, and that what got me very, very. He's sick, right? He's interested. We first see Walter. We see Walter with Daniels. We see him checking up on her because, well, her husband's sick. So what's going on there? Is there more to it, or is he just not feeling too well? I think there's more in this film. Everything happens for a reason. So I think James Franco's character is definitely going to be dying off pretty damn fast, pretty soon. And I think Walter might have to, just like how David had a hidden agenda, Walter might have a hidden agenda. Now, this plot says that David is on the planet that they're going to go colonize. So David and Walter are not the same being. They're a different being. Walter is the same model, sort of David or something like that. We don't know too much yet until we get into the film and we dive more into it. Maybe Walter does know a lot of stuff, because Walter seems to get you see the creepiness in him. You see the mysterious within him, just like the android David. So James Franco is sick. And I think James Franco is deliberately sick. I think, remember the black goo, when David put the black goo in the one dude's, Elizabeth Shaw's lover's drink, and then he started getting sick and started mutating and transforming. You got to remember, Michael Fassbender did state that there was going to be another creature in this movie. It's not only going to be the xenomorph, which we've seen heavily advertised in the trailer, but we might also have another creature, the neomorphs. Now, the neomorphs are maybe the mutation of a human being, while the xenomorphs might still be a mutation of the engineers. And Ridley Scott really wants to heavily explore the engineers as well. We might get more tie-ins with the engineers, maybe not in this film, but future films. And I got a theory going on with those engineers as it is. So I do think James Franco might be heavily contain. There might be something with him. There might be this either the black goo or something that's going to make him mutate. I don't think he's the man that got mutated on the hospital chair table, as you saw in the trailer. I don't think it's him, and you see like little spikes coming out of the back of his spine. But I think he's going to be mutated because he's under the fever. He's going to go to cryo sleep. So I don't, that's where I think that's where everything's going to just kind of like Walter has a hidden agenda with, you just can't really trust these guys. Walter has a hidden agenda. So the cast though, Danny McBride, I've seen him in other things. He's good. You know, I like Danny McBride, but we're going to see how he does in this film. I just don't like him being with James Franco. I think I would have been fine if it was just Danny McBride alone. So Danny McBride, he is playing Tennessee, and Tennessee, you know, he it's very interesting. He's likable, but not likable, because Billy Crudup, who played Mr. Manhattan in the Watchmen series, and I think I just recently saw him in Big Fish, he does not like Tennessee at all. You could tell by the way he looks at him, by the way he's talking shit in front of his face, honestly, that he doesn't like him. And that's going to play a big part throughout this film. And it's interesting how I thought he was going to be the captain, but apparently James Franco's the captain. And of course, the star of this film is Daniels. Now, Daniels seems to be, I don't want to say a copy of Ripley, because we don't know what she's going to do throughout the film, but a lot of images that came on the set and the trailer itself, it seems like she's going to be portrayed as somewhat of a Ripley, maybe of the first original Alien film, which I don't want that. I want her to be her own character, but she does need to fight. She needs to fight back, but I just want something new and different. Hopefully this film does deliver that, and hopefully this actress delivers that as well. I already know who's the first one to go, man. It's going to be Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett is from Empire. You know, he's Jamal. He's going. He's done. He's dead. Like, I just really feel like he's a goner. And if you see the image, like, he's in the shower making love, and the xenomorph's going to get him. The xenomorph is going to get him, rip him apart. He's done. He's dead. A lot of people are going to die in this film. And I wouldn't be surprised if the main actress dies in this film. I won't be surprised if all of them die in this film, honestly. I just feel like Ridley would do that. The one thing I'm very saddened about is that Elizabeth Shaw is probably most likely dead. We probably won't see her she's probably not alive. The only way we're going to see her is via flashback, via them finding David's head, or finding somewhat of David, and him relying the story like, you just walked upon, you now are here where all these xenomorphs, all these creatures have taken over the engineer's planet. This is originally the engineer's planet. And that's what I'm thinking. That's my opinion. It's my prediction. So I think Elizabeth Shaw is dead, and it's a shame because I really like Naomi Rapace. I really do think she was a solid actress in the first one. I do think she did need to be a little bit more developed, but I think she did a very fantastic job what she was given. I think she acted really great, and I think in this film, I was hoping for her to still be somewhat alive, but I don't think that's the case. I think she's dead. I think she's gone, and I think David is the only one remaining that knows about that Prometheus voyage. So Walter is Michael Fassbender is going to kill it. I think the acting and the cast that they have is very interesting. There's somewhat up and coming names, not a big known names, but I feel confident in Ridley Scott. I think this is going to be a beautiful film. I think this film is going to be definitely, I mean, you just saw that prologue and you're just like, I'm back into this world that Ridley Scott has created. I think these creatures are going to be interesting. If we do get introduced to the Neomorphs, they're going to be I think they're going to be a scary ass creature, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the Neomorphs and the Xenomorphs in this film. So that's really my thoughts on that prologue. That prologue just really kind of recreated the Last Supper of the first Alien film. and it was like a nod. And for little things here and there, like little people not liking certain people, the captain being sick, like there's a lot of things you could take away from that prologue. But then again, we're just kind of waiting for that overall film. So my theory about the engineers, though, is that the end. You know how in the first Alien film, the engineers are huge, they're humongous, they're way bigger than humans that they were portrayed in Prometheus. I think there's two types of engineers. I think there is maybe the kind of like they're gods, but like they're kind of like the citizens. They're like the demigods, so to speak, of the engineers in Prometheus. Those are kind of like the demigods, and then you have the god gods, and there's like bigger engineers. There's humongous engineers that maybe look a little bit different, but they're definitely massive in size, and that's where we come across that big, huge ass engineer in the first Alien film. While so there's two different. You got to think of it like Predator, right? Predators, how they introduce like the cousins, where Predator is a little bit more smaller, and then you have the Berserker Predator. I think that could be the same case for the engineers, or that might be just just one almighty kind of engineer. So, or God. So that's how I kind of think that it might go that route. But that'd be kind of sick, though. I would love to see like them, because that's all we always question that, like, why are these engineers that not human size, but as small, like not as big as that first Alien film and that first engineer that they come across. So Alien Covenant, I don't want to put too much in stake in here, because Prometheus did leave a lot of unanswered questions, and Ridley Scott wants to make a lot more films of the Alien franchise leading up to the original Alien. I'm all for it, and I'm also all for a continuation of the Alien franchise with Ripley. I would love to see Ripley get her due, because Resurrection shouldn't have been the ending to that character, and I think Neil Blomkamp could actually do a good job with the material. I mean, I didn't necessarily like District 9. I did actually kind of like Chappie, and I did like a little bit of Elysium. Visually, he has it. I think writing, maybe script writing needs to be handled by other people, and him just the directorial, just the visuals and the characters and just like the actors, I think he needs to take hold of. But overall, I think he do a solid. I honestly think he would do a solid job. If not that, I still want to see a continuation of Ripley's story, just to end it, just to very much end it, or even how about Ridley Scott taking over that project? Who knows? Or maybe James Cameron. James Cameron seems to want to do everything, right? So that's my thoughts on Alien Covenant, the prologue. There's somewhat things to take care of. I take out of it. There's a lot of characters of that on that table that's going to die. I think Danny McBride is going to die. James Franco is going to die. Dr. Manhattan most likely will die, and he might be the one that's getting mutated. I'm not sure. But I think James Franco, I think Walter knows a lot more. Just the demeanor of Walter is just, yeah, I think he knows. I think that guy has something up his sleeve. And I don't know if he's really connected to the David that's in, because these are two separate beings, I'm assuming. So we'll see how it goes, though. Thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on Alien Covenant. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that engineer kind of theory? I mean, I just came up with it. I just like I really feel like there'd be kind of two classes of engineer, or like that's how you kind of fix the whole problem of why the engineers are a little bit smaller than they are. But that's how I feel. And then also Franco, what do you guys think about that? Is he sick? Is he just typical cold fever, or did Walter do something, or maybe it wasn't Walter, maybe it was somebody else in the crew, and that could very well be a possibility. So thank you guys for listening. I'm Dan Make It Down Son. You can find more of my videos on YouTube. Like the video if you like it, and comment below, let your guys' thoughts, and you guys have a good one. Bye.